David Johnson from the goal line for the UNI Panthers. Big hole up the middle, and UNI starts with great field position as Johnson takes it across the 40-yard line.
Nothing real flashy on this return. Gets upfield, gets the wedge, and gets the Panthers outstanding field position to start this opening drive. Now last week, against Illinois State,
the North Dakota State #1 and UNI number 19. As David Johnson gets his first carry of the ball game up the left side, big hole. And UNI with their first on the run of David Johnson.
Johnson had a play very similar to this last year in the Fargo Dome where he sprinted for a touchdown about 80 yards.
It's Colton Hegel on the tackle. And UNI goes right back to David Johnson. Here's a cutback and maybe back to the line of scrimmage. And at EliteChevy.com. There's a pass on the top of your screen to David Johnson. He can do it all.
How good is he? He's a running back. He's a receiver. One-handed, left-handed catch.
Rushing yards leader. He's also got that all-purpose yards leader in the career record books for UNI. Quite the career David Johnson is finishing up this season, and he gets the carry inside the tackles this time and picks up 5. So now the UNI offense backed up. North Dakota State in this situation when they started their possession. Carnes hands it off to Johnson up the middle, out to the 14-yard line, and it'll be third down and manageable.
They're used to having a whole lot more than that, but pretty evenly matched here.
Hand off to David Johnson up the middle, quickly out to the 22-yard line. Panther offense back out on the field. David Johnson tries up the middle and no gain on the play.
And not necessarily this play, but in this series.
Johnson on a carry, sweeping to the right side, can't get away from the grasp. And a momentum changer too after that penalty on the missed field goal. This is Owens in motion. Johnson gets the carry up the middle, tries to reverse his field. Runs right into Esley Thornton.
Just on the fringe of the red zone here. First time the Panthers have been this close all game.
Here's Carnes looking to throw, flips it to the flats. Here's David Johnson. 2-on-1. Look at that cutback. Inside the 10 he goes. And it's a first and goal. Wow, an ankle breaker.
Now LeMaster was wide open about the same side of the field, but he decided Johnson has a more likelihood of picking up yards after the catch. It's a completely different team in the second half here.
So handoff, David Johnson, right side. Picks up 4 or 5.
I'm fine with this. Some fans might want, let's be aggressive, let's try and go here.
Here's the second down, and it's Johnson up the middle. Bowled over by Nate Tangway. Kevin Vereen out there for the Panthers at the bottom of your screen. Hand off to David Johnson into Bison territory, down to the 45-46. Dudzik has started all 54 games of his North Dakota State football career, and here's David Johnson getting bottled up and driven back.
Crockett's averaging only 1.5 yards per carry in this football game. He averages over 5 yards a carry on the season. That's how good this UNI defense has played.
It'll be David Johnson likely to get the carry. Barely back to the 1-yard line. Some speed and kind of rare for Breon to pull up like that before he heads out of bounds. There's a handoff. David Johnson. He put his shoulder down. Now a stiff arm. Finally wrapped up.
He can run around you or he can run over you. The kickoff return for a touchdown last week. He had that big lowering of the shoulder, and then he sprints past everyone for the kickoff return.
Carnes hands it off to Johnson, and Johnson gets wrapped up and dropped. David Johnson, 62 yards rushing on the day so far. He gets the carry on first down, and he's got 10 and more.
If David Johnson can do plays like this, the Panthers can ride him to a victory in this fourth quarter. Here's the thing, though. There's 26 seconds on the play clock. Why are we snapping the ball right now?
Hand off to David Johnson up the middle. Inside the 40-yard line, gain of 8. UNI goes right back to him. David Johnson has the first down, stays on his feet, pushes himself backwards for a couple more yards. Carnes says, let's ride the big horse, but gets dropped for a loss that time. We saw a heavy dose of David Johnson their last possession. Here's Johnson up the middle.
Mark Farley has been getting it done when it matters most throughout his career here.
Beat 6th-ranked Illinois State just a week ago on November 1st.
Not in field goal range here.
Hands it off to David Johnson. He's got the first down to the 35. Missouri Valley Football Conference Offensive Player of the Week. Also had a big kickoff return for a touchdown a week ago. 3 TDs last week.
They won 27-13 at Western Illinois. 42-28 against the unbeaten Illinois State Redbirds. They get the game ball, Brad.
They have stood up to the test. Here's David Johnson. He likes game balls. He's out to the 29.
Let's give number 7 one as well.
Over 100 yards rushing. Adding that to his total. North Dakota State was number 1, and the Bison won by a point. Here's David Johnson on the near side again. Stiff arm. And down to the 43-yard line. Here inside the dome, North Dakota State still number 1. Came away with the 33-21 win in 2011.